It's another day, another draft here on Splash Play, my 138th stream draft in 2024 in best ball. And today we hop to the world of draft. There's a little bit of a relaxing reprieve from the world of underdog. There's no pods at all. No pods, no playoff pods. Full point PPR, 20 rounds as well, so you can build some unique rosters. It's a lot of fun on there. Of course, I am already in a draft room. We're going to hop into it right now. And the chat, thirsty for it. I'm getting people replying to comments from me, asking when I'm hopping in. Our guy Diego here, dying to get into the room as well. Again, I would say one thing. I'll ask kindly, if you really want to be in draft rooms that bad, just be a paying member. That's all I ask of you guys here. But it's Saturday here on Drafters, where it's just less competition anyway, less taking away of EV by being in the same draft room. So happy to have you guys in it. Of course, on Drafters, you guys know the deal now. We'll put the little ad up here. Promo code SPLASH on there gets you a $100 deposit match. And if you are playing a lot exclusively on Underdog, playing exclusively on DraftKings, playing on Drafters is a great way to boost your portfolio. And actually, I saw a chat from our guy Robert Griffin the Turd right before the stream. So he actually deposited on Drafters out of state because he can't play in his normal home state. Got in there. He got 11 entries basically with the free one I gave away and the promo code. Got 11 entries for $35. So 11 entries in a tournament for 500K with 500K to first place for that much money is a pretty good deal and a lot better you're going to do in pretty much any site out there. So go check it out, drafters.com. And again, promo code SPLASH on there. Supports the show and also, again, supports yourself. Doubling your bankroll to start on there. Today we're picking in this 7-hole. We will see what we get back, and it is a Bijan situation. I feel like I do get roped into Bijan a good amount. Not here with the best ball overlay tool, unfortunately, so I can't see my exact exposures to dial in. AJ Brown, I don't mind either. But a hero RB on Drafters, where it is that total points for 17 weeks, does feel a little bit better. And Bijan, of course, as I've talked about here on stream, think he's live to be the 101 next year. I think there's as good a shot as him as anybody out there. So at least in terms of being an RB. So I'd say for Bijan, happy to get him here in this build. We'll see what we get after that. Saturday with Spags. Main reason to hop in streams on Drafters is a long fill time. That is fair. I guess I do fill a room a little bit faster than Drafters normally does, but it's all good. Happy to have some new people in here. We got Mr. Poopy Butthole, who I think deposited with the Splash promo code. So shout out to some of you guys who did do that. Maybe I think Dylan might have as well. Appreciate you guys who did deposit using the promo code because it does support the show. Puka Nakua going to our guy Gamblestein in the 10-hole. Let's see if he gets Marvin Harrison Jr. on the way back. The week 17 correlation, you don't need quite as much on Drafters, but it doesn't hurt. Never hurts. Mentioned liking the 4 spot on Underdog with 20 rounds. Does that change on Drafters? I mean, honestly, I don't mind the spot that I got here. I don't mind the 7 spot forcing me into taking Bijan in these rooms, and you still have the flexibility to take an AJ Brown, to take a Puka Nakua, to take Garrett Wilson if you want to do that. Breece Hall as well. I think it's a good spot to level some exposures out there. But functionally not that different. I would say my favoring hero RB even more on Drafters probably would make the 7-8 spot a little bit more interesting. Just getting Bijan, I think, and the optionality to still go zero RB, I think is pretty good. GM Jizma. I have not seen Jiz spelled with the G before, but okay. Because they're all G's, that's why. And there's Gamblestein. Happy to see him. The Kool-Aid Man avatar. Much friendlier than Gamblestein himself, but it works all the same. It plays. So nothing too crazy so far. Pretty standard start. I feel like it's the worst part of most of these draft rooms when it's just people drafted normally. It's basically all it is. And there's just not much to talk about early on. Training camp starting to kick off, though, so that's exciting to see. Some rumors out there, including one I just saw before the show. Adam Levitan, who's been weirdly fixated on the same things I am this fantasy football season. So maybe that's a good sign. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But he was talking about the Broncos situation. The beat reporters there basically saying that they feel Javonte Williams and Samaje Perine competing for one roster spot, which I wouldn't say was my assumption. Obviously, they're different kinds of players. Did expect Perine to get cut a while ago. That said, I think them having one roster spot between them makes sense. It being treated like it's something fluid between Javonte and Samaje Perine is not good for Javonte, is what I would say, and probably is good. I mean, it is good for Audric Estime. I think it has to be good for Audric Estime, but maybe good for Jaleel McLaughlin as well. I don't know, but definitely good for Estime. Jahmyr Gibbs falls all the way back to a bimodal RB start. This is not anything too uncommon, though he does. But this room is really going wide receiver heavy, which I guess I shouldn't be surprised by. You know what? It's Drafters. I think we have a little bit more flexibility because of the 20 rounds, because of the full point PPR. We'll go Jahmyr Gibbs, who, again, should be a better full point PPR play. Going to have to hit receiver hard, though, after this. So, that's nothing too new there. I think I'm telling you guys. But I would say for my approach here, when we get Gibbs as a faller, get Robinson at ADP, this room, I think, a little over enthusiastic to go 0 RB in the drafters format. So we'll do it here. Diego, I'm aware it's full point PPR. These two running backs are also very good PPR running backs. I'm aware, though, that it's full point PPR. Oh, boy. The people who don't pay money want to get in drafts and then tell me that it's full point PPR. Diego killing me this morning. This fine Saturday morning. Udeze UI looks funny this morning. New overlay. Yeah, it's completely different. I reskinned Underdog here, and I gave you a new promo code. So if you never deposit on this new Underdog spinoff drafters, you can do it right now. I don't know if you guys have heard. It's full point PPR, which is one of the reasons it's different from Underdog. It's also 20 rounds, which is different from Underdog as well. Talking to me like I'm the one who's not streaming these drafts for 2 straight years. I'm holding a football, Diego. I know ball. I know full point PPR. Made me laugh, though, if nothing else. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, indeed. Anyway, we're going to draft some receivers because apparently it's full point PPR, guys. We got to... I think, if nothing else, Diego's giving me a bit for the rest of the stream, so I appreciate him for that. And going to remind myself, recenter myself, this is full point PPR. Here I was thinking they actually take a point away when you get a catch. And no, now I've learned, in fact, you get 1 point, which is insane. I was thinking running backs, like, oh, these guys are going to get handoffs. They're not going to lose a point each time they touch the ball. And no, in fact, it's full point PPR. We get a full point on this video that's also titled PPR Draft for $500,000. Derrick Henry, the thing is, we don't get as many points with him because he's not a receiver. He's not getting full points per reception as often, at least, as maybe Stephon Diggs is. So we'll go Stephon Diggs here. Diego, you're just an annoying person. But now you made a funny bit. But I'm still gonna take a lap, Diego. You're not a regular, and I don't know why you're so into this. But yes, in this full point PPR draft, we take our first receiver here. There you go. Oh, you only start 1 QB? Oh, shit. Guys, you're teaching me. Here's the thing. I sometimes come in these best ball streams. I try to make it so I'm teaching people especially coming in that don't know the world of best ball. They're going to spend their money. I don't want them to get burned. I want them to die out here. And you guys have taught me a lot today. I mean, I still don't know this. What PPR are we talking about? Are we talking about wieners here? Are we talking about PPs? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know. I need you guys to tell me this stuff. I just don't get it. Diego's cooking is lacking, I would say. I don't know, which, yeah, I'm not going to make the joke. I won't make a joke. Too early in the stream for a joke. Wait a minute. Hold on. I have to deposit money into my DK or drafters account, in this case, to participate. I thought that my money just appears in my account and I get to draft. I am learning so much today. It's great to be here on a Saturday. Here's the thing. You guys do your work on a Saturday. It's same thing for me here. I just love to show up and do the work on a Saturday. Just love to be here doing a stream, trying to pay some bills. So it's great to have, to learn some stuff along the way too. What a treat. This should just be my persona for everything. It's like surprised guy. It's just overjoyed surprised guy learning things. I hope Diego comes back after the timeout and tells me some more stuff. Did you know that this is a football helmet in our logo? I just learned that from Diego as well. The SP, in fact, stands for splash play. Just point out anything obvious. Oh my Lord. How do I make trades? Well, here's the thing. On drafters, I don't know where that tab is, unfortunately. They must keep it hidden. It's not like Sleeper, where Sleeper's so easy. You just hop on there, everything is, and they don't send you annoying notifications all the time. But here on drafters, you got to really figure it out for yourself. No, it's not soccer. That's the other thing that gets people. Really throws people for a loop. They think it's soccer, and they're incorrect. Pacheco is still here. What a deal. But I have learned, again, it's full point PPR. The George Pickens really, I feel like he and Pacheco got to get the same amount of catches. We'll go George Pickens, though. Wide receiver 2 here. We got to get some receivers in for full point PPR. Do you do a lot of drafts on DK? Find it's usually a softer competition in the draft rooms. I don't do a lot. I've got about 10 in this year just because they raised the price point and there's no economic incentive quite as much for me to do that with me having less bankroll because I'm doing a startup right now. So I'm not doing as many DK drafts, not planning to max it as of right now. But that said, the ones I've done, that's the thing with DK, is it's softer rooms. There's a lot of people in there have sportsbook money, have DFS money. They don't know best ball. You might have seen the 10K draft with guys like Osimo, guys like Justin Herzig, who is of course a great drafter. Guys like Barstool Big Cat, my old pal Dan Katz over there. And he actually is a very nice guy. So he's one of the few people I don't have negative things to say over there. But point being, like, you saw that draft. Those guys are some of the best gamblers in the world. They could not draft good best ball teams besides Herzig, who cleaned up in that room. So that's really what it is that on DraftKings, you get these people who have a bankroll, who have money in their DFS account, have money in their sportsbook account, and they see the promos and they go, oh shit, I can get a free entry. And they do that. And then you get that. But you're getting, the Millie Maker crowd is what you're getting on DraftKings more so. The Snowman here, one of our regulars, appreciate him. What's going on? Starting off good, eh? Hey, look, we're having a good time. We learned that Drafters is full point PPR. Do you win money on Drafters as well? Do you get, if I were to say, let's say, finish in first place out of all the entries in week 17, would I win money? I don't know. I wish Diego hadn't left the room and he could tell me. Let's open a tab and let's take a quick look here. See if we could find the prize structure for this tournament. Well, wait a minute. Now, it turns out on Drafters, so it's full point PPR, which we didn't know. Thank God for Diego. Also, 500K to first place on here. That's mad. That's a mad amount of money. 200K to second place on here. I mean, wow. Fuck. Just blows your mind. Gotta run. Excited to learn more about the soccer game later on playback. Thank you. Coming up on the clock here. A lot of guys in this room have figured out it's full point PPR, unfortunately. I don't know where they saw it. I don't know where they got that news item from. Got to keep making it up at receiver. Jaden Reed. Oh, a promo? Wait, is that how you pronounce it? Promo? Promo? Well, good to know. This came on the screen. I'm like, where'd this come from? Is this CrowdStrike? And no, it turns out, in fact, this is what is called the promo in the business. So use this promo code at drafters.com. Is that the website? What website am I on? Drafters.com. Dan Katz, Chicago legend and Massachusetts legend as well. But yes, great. Well, honestly, great guy. Nothing. I can make fun. Nothing bad to say about him. Well, I have bad things to say about anybody, but nothing I need to say. That's bad. We're making it up at receiver, though. Team so far, we got Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, both great PPR backs in this alleged full-point PPR format. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, again, love that start. Stephon Diggs, Pickens, Reed. Less than the Pickens. Reed is wide receiver 3. Would prefer him as wide receiver 4. That's what we did here. Did a different draft. I get it. Oh, no, Jeff. This is not a battle royale. Again, I could see where the confusion would be. But, there's a lot of intricacies in best ball people just don't get sometimes. Anyway, what we did, we took 2 RBs early. We got to keep making it up at receiver. At this point, I think we still need to keep making it up at receiver. Do think that, and again, a full point PPR format, I like Ladd McConkey more. This is not a screaming value for James Cook. It's almost tempting, but we know what we have to do. If you make this commitment to taking RB early, you say, hey, I have to soak up the Gibbs value. Hey, I want to start hero RB with Bijan. No matter what the format is, I know we're having a lot of fun today. We're making jokes. It was set up really easily for me. You do want to make sure that if you take these 2 RBs up top, you got to hit receiver hot and heavy. I would say 4 rounds in a row, at least 5. Honestly, can make the case for 6 rounds in a row, just really making up a receiver, because that is one thing a lot of people don't do. And with wide receiver ADPs storming up the board this year, you got to get shares of the top fucking 50 guys. The top 50 guys are gone in those first 75 picks for the most part. Favorite structure on Drafters? Zero RB is still good. Zero RB is still won it last year, I believe. I like elite QB, hero RB, elite tight end a little bit more, just getting more elite players in at positions I might prioritize a little bit less on underdog. But I think, you have a little more flexibility on Drafters, I would say, because it is still about the total points, about having the nuts for the players you have in. And not that like guys like Achane, guys like Kyron Williams, guys like Puka last year, not like they're not rewarded on underdog and DraftKings, but on Drafters, I feel like you're rewarded much more because you're basically getting a season's worth of full points there adding up to, at a 17th round pick. So hitting your late guys, also a really important part. Not that you need it. Yeah, it's just 5 minutes, Diego. You're back. But please share some more insights for me if you can. I feel like Diego, if you guys know the I think it should leave bit where Tim is just seeing like a volcano and a little, like he thinks a highlighter is a little pimp. That's how I would like to imagine Diego. So I got the snowman to help cover this one. So you're just learning. Thank you. Oh, it's really kind of the snowman here. I appreciate it. He's like Frosty. He's so kind to me here as I'm just learning things. It's okay, Diego. It was just you made easy fodder on a Saturday. I appreciate you for it. Glad to have you in the room. Up your which spot are you in, Diego? So we can see this team. I feel like we might be able to guess, but I don't see a Diego or anything here. I assume you made it in the room though, because you knew the count. If I had to guess, Diego is Rep 515 and Shaka. All right, we're on the clock here. Again, receiver has gotten bled out in the 0 RB-ish room. Addison, a faller right now. We're at pick 79, not trying to reach in. Diego didn't get in. That's why. Okay, I'm sorry, Diego. I didn't mean to rub it in. I thought you've been in the room the whole time. That's my bad. Jameson Williams, I would say not a PPR play, but we just need receiver upside at this point. Again, Addison coming down because of the suspension. I'm not going to reach for him. To me, Jameson Williams should be priced in the mid-70s, so that's how that goes. We got Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Jameson Williams. For sure, not my usual receiver room. I think Diggs being wide receiver 2 for me, occasionally wide receiver 3 for me, has been the more common thing. But still think that this build works enough. We made it up at receiver as best we could, and still might want to take one more on the way back. But we have the 2 RBs, so we're really going to assume that Bijan Robinson and Gibbs both have great years, both guys in year 2, that year 1, year 2 leap being the biggest thing we could ever hope for. So yeah, that's how it goes. Our guy Bindles is here. Bindles, we've been learning a lot today, Bindles, but glad to see Bindles in here. Shout out our boy. Hope you're enjoying some time now that you're not streaming, not having to add extra stress into your life. Ugh. What are these fellas going to do? These guys all took a lot of receivers, so you got to think we're going on an RB run here. You know, doesn't need RB at all. This guy, this RB lover right here. I am now the embodiment of this little gif. Honestly, this year, I feel like I've just been going ham on running backs. I feel like I've betrayed everything I believe about 0 RB this year. Still have half my entries in BBM. But man, really, RB is just too tempting at price this year, which is probably going to be the downfall of society in fantasy football. Or just make it so like people have 4 RBs from pick 70 to 100, no, or maybe a little bit more than that, maybe 120, and then that's just enough for room, and that's what wins BBM. I think something weird is going to happen with RB this year. All right, we're on the clock here. We got our 5 receivers in 100, but I still feel pretty bare given our really heavy RB start. 2 RBs in the first 2 rounds. So we're going to go 6 receivers here. Diggs, Pickens, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Jameson Williams, Cortland Sutton. A who's who of guys that if you had on your season-long team, you would be fucking dead in the water. But for best ball, they can combine together to a competent enough room. And I think now we can work some other positions, maybe soak up some of the value that should be coming up in the future rounds. But I think after the RB start, I had to go hot and heavy at wide receiver. I will defend that to the death. Oh, James, let's make the count. 20-round draft. I mean, I'm used to 18-round drafts. Let's see, 18. What? 2 more rounds? What? Holy shit. How is that possible? How do they even squeeze 20 rounds into a draft? Man, crazy stuff. Yeah, 20 rounds on drafters. Learning so much today. Somebody's going to come in and watch this, like parts of this draft. Like, this guy, why is this guy streaming best ball drafts? He doesn't seem to know anything about. He didn't even know what a promo code is. What? And for that person, I hope that's all they ever think. I hope they turn off the stream and they never know that I'm one of the most brilliant minds in best ball, tortured by my own art. Saturday gets stupid. I really do get fucking loose on Saturdays. I'll tell you what. Even without a beer today, I get loose. All right, Nickel here. What's up, brother? Appreciate you being here, Nickel. Jalen Warren would have been a fun pick. Would have been. I just needed receiver more. This room fucking took every receiver I think is good besides Stephon Diggs. So I think I had to get a little bit more firepower in at receiver, but I certainly get it. I think that the RB semi-value at that point is kind of interesting. But, you know, Robinson and Gibbs, Bijan and Gibbs have to make this fucking lineup pop 15 weeks for this lineup for this build to work. Especially in this room where, because we do have a lot more regulars in, this was basically an avalanche room. So the fact that we got guys even relatively at their picks at receiver, I think I'm happy to have that too. Troll the trollers. There we go. We turn it on their heads. That's how we do it. Happy Shatter Saturday. Oh man, Shatter doing it. I've not had wax in a while. Just do my little ground up grass and call it a day in the vape pen, or not the vape pen, in the volcano. Dumb, silly fucking. I'm still a early 2000s college kid and I use a volcano if that's what he wants to judge. All right, Larry, here you the best. Appreciate you. I am a true artist. That's what I've said. My canvas is a draft room. My data, a piece of paint. My tongue, the brush. And I like to brush heavy, boys. Ah. That's how I eat pussy, too. Anyway, shout out Drafters. Promo code SPLASH on drafters.com. I think we can add a QB and make that a little better. And we're going to do that. Jordan Love, come on down at pick 103. Do I do anything with the reburn? The carb. So sometimes I won't smoke it at 230, which is the highest set on a volcano, and I'll save it for when I don't have any weed, which might become time coming up soon. But yeah, I could make edibles because I still have the magical butter from my really heavy, wanting to do edibles days, but can fucking use it like twice, I think. So but I still have a magical butter. So that would be the thing to do if you have any leftover stuff, I think. That's what I would recommend. Was that too far? Historical Anomalies has been on board from day one. So there we go. Tongue brusher. Oh, yeah. We give him the old tongue brusher left and right. That's what we do on Drafters Saturday. Oh, man. This draft has been... I've had a lot of fun today, guys. If you've enjoyed this stream, you are absolutely one of ours. If you're not subscribed, or I have to assume it's only people that are subscribed watching this. But if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe down below. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. I can tell you, I don't think Davis Maddock, he might be. I don't think Davis Maddock is doing this. I don't think Pete's doing, I know Pete's not doing this. I don't think the other drafters out there are eating pussy in 10 rounds and doing bits where they don't know best ball for the first half of a draft. So please show some love. I'm doing something different. Is it good? I don't know. Bonk me all you want. I'm allowed to taste on stream. I'm allowed to lick my probably disgusting microphone. Nah. Nah. The people who lick the subway poles on in New York subways, the worst. That's the worst I could never fucking do. You'd have to give me a lot of money for me to lick a subway pole. You'd have to give me a lot of money to lick a lot of things. I should start with that caveat. But a subway pole, really, to me, like that's for some reason a bridge too far. Just knowing what happens to subway poles. What pick did you take, Daniels? I didn't. In fact, Daniels just went 108, Ball King. It seems like you don't know ball here. Only one motherfucking Spags. Shout out our guy, Jason. Jason, one of my boys. First supporter, probably. I appreciate him for it. Be like Jason. Check out probably.com, probly.com. Much better website than when Jason got in. I'll tell you that. We've made a lot of strides. So please, probably.com, my sports betting data app. Top of market sports betting data. You know the deal. Help you make better bets. That's what we want to do. All right, picks coming up here, or a pick coming up here. I'm so used to going on the turn. I'm not used to having this middle of a round draft where I don't have to fucking fill air for 20 minutes while everybody makes their picks. We got some options here. I think you've always got options in a draft. I'll give that hot take. Time to go back to RB, maybe. QB2, we don't have anything with Chicago. Though Keenan Allen's on the thumbnail, so technically that could correlate. We got Dontavian Wicks here. Make the Green Bay double. And I could live with that. Again, we don't have Christian Watson. We don't have Romeo Dobbs. These are the times where I think you can make a Wicks bet and not feel too bad about it. Obviously, having Jordan Love as well, we want to get that double stack. So we're going to add a seventh receiver here. Again, we went so heavy at capital at RB. For receiver in particular, when you starve receiver this much, do you think you got to make it up? Am I making it up too much? Some people may feel that way, but I don't think so. We got Jordan Love here, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Jameson Williams, Cortland Sutton, Dontavian Wicks. So we've got to 7 receivers with our 2 RBs. The 2 RBs should theoretically, if we're taking them first and second round, these guys should be the nuts of all nuts. So that's the assumption we're making with the build. That's the logical kind of things we try to back into with our draft. And I think that's it. Still think I could, maybe take one less receiver, but Wicks being there, knowing we have a lot of RB values coming up in general in this room, I think it works. All right, let's see. Oh, I didn't even 16 because she gets 8 twice. Okay. Or this is like a Drake line. That's what that sounds like. Just got the Nakua Marvin Harrison start for the first. I'm happy for Vishace. Is it Vishace or Vishace? I feel like I assume you must be from somewhere else. Your name is Vishace. I'm not sure. But I like Vishace because it sounds elegant. But I don't know. And I'd be curious if you want to tell me. But shout out to him. Everybody's got the start except me. The Puka Nakua Marvin Harrison Jr. start. I got in the big board accidentally. Have not gotten once in Best Ball Mania. And I don't think I've gotten on Drafters either. No, I haven't gotten it on DraftKings because I thought I did, then checked. And I was like, well. The worst Week 17 matchup, Arizona Rams. You hate those two top receivers. Nobody wants those guys. Yucky, yucky. Variance of the team last year was 2-7-7-4. Need to dive into the specific spikes, but how takeaway for me is that fewer players are actually contributing on a weekly basis. It was again also that they hit so many late guys. Like I think it was a Kyron, Achan, Puka team, I believe is what won. And when you have that combo, it's hard to not win. I think that we can go back to RB here. I guess theoretically the move would be to take later production, but let's say Gibbs doesn't hit his stride early. I think Gus Edwards makes more sense there. So we're helping Gus keep Gibbs afloat. Gibbs seizes the entire role away from David Montgomery as the season goes on. I think that's a bet I would like to make. And also, well, no, you know what? Justin Herbert went the pick after me to fucking line of scrimmage. God damn it. Guess I had to take Herbert there if I was going to take him. Herbert's price is what on here? 133. I thought I'd be able to push Herbert back, but didn't think Charlie was going to go for QB2 right there. Oh, well. No Justin Herbert team today. But wanted Gus to show up the RB room no matter what. And I was thinking with the double Chargers build, I could go Herbert. It's okay. Nuts over structure. I mean, it was still a 0 RB team, I believe. That was the structure. So I think that's what allowed him to hit the nuts more. It's like structure and hitting the nuts go hand in hand. Like if you're Week 17 correlating, you might hit the nuts because the two teams that end up winning you the tournament in Week 17 are also teams that were good the entire year, and you having them stacked up is what drove your team the entire season. So like structure and finding the nuts, it all goes hand in hand. It's like cutting the parlay in DFS and best ball with stack. It's finding that needle in a haystack more easily. It just allows you organization within your teams that gives the team a chance to bubble up. And obviously, if you had Puka not Marvin Harrison, if you had Puka and Kyron Williams last year in every draft, your odds of having better teams are going to be better, but still it's ultimately having Puka and Kyron Williams with the right structure around that. And for Fareed Shaheed last year, that was having the Detroit base, that was having, Tua with Raheem Mostert, that was having the Minnesota stack. That was having a lot of different things. Well-structured nuts. Nuts, though, indeed. Nuts, thou. Would I ever take Drake May alone or only stack him? I mean, I have a hard time taking Drake May as it is because I just don't think he starts enough of the year. But I'd still want to stack him. I mean, you have enough options for New England late. You could tack on. Baker's usually floating around with him. Would like to have Polk with him. Do you think Polk is the biggest beneficiary if Drake May plays of that style of play? Drake May is a willing, aggressive downfield thrower, sometimes to the point of blindness kind of downfield thrower. I think we can keep making it up at RB. A little bit of a fall for Kendre, so he'll be the RB4 here. Need to set up QB2 at some point. That we do have a few late outs still that we can be. I don't think happy would be the right word. But the team so far, we got Jordan Love, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Gus Edwards, and Kendre Miller at RB. So, I don't know. Could be done at RB. Could add one more, given that it's a 20-round draft. We got Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Jameson Williams, Cortland Sutton, and Dontavian Wicks here. So, a full receiver room, QBs, RBs. It's all feeling pretty good. Happy to do that. Sorry, Spags, I'm excited with my options. So got my second QB stack. Happy. I'll take your Canadian $10 all the same, Charlie. I appreciate you. It's all good. And drafters, again, there's you're not getting double taxed when you get sniped on drafters either, which I think is a big part of why I care less about having regulars in. I don't necessarily want regulars in every room on drafters either. But I do think with that, it's just you're not competing every week, which I think is a big part of it. I could still find a way to make my structure work. And I think it's a big pro of drafters as well, where getting sniped or being in rooms with people that are just fucking your team up, it still fundamentally matters a little bit less than an underdog because you just have to see them every week in your pod too, especially if it's players that you fucking love and they sniped you on and those players kick your ass in the season. A little bit of double whammy there. Oh, and your head was more vicious. Made it back on Poker Stars. Okay. Oh, but that make vicious, but vish ace. Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't know how you would spell it differently, honestly. I've got no branding fixed for you. Miss Splash Sports is that pre-app. Splash is still going on right now. Splash is one of those, what's the other one? Dabble. It's one of those like shitty, I don't know if it's shitty, but one of those like second tier. Parlay Play is another one. Those apps that like only the Prize Picks guys promote, basically, like the Prize Picks content creators promote. There's like 5 of them that are all kind of mid. Maybe they're great. I don't know. All right, pick coming up here. Someone took Jacobs in round 3 and Connor in round 7. Hits on Achan, Kyron Tank, no Puka. Oh, I thought he had Puka. All right, fair enough. Same thing with BBM is that, though. I would warn about worrying a little bit too much about the structure part of it and what you take away from it. I don't know that I want to increase our bet on the Chargers at this point. This is a brutal fucking spot. I think we need to get tight end in, though. Let's take Hunter Henry. Some week 17 Oppo correlation for our non-Charger stack with Hunter Henry. But also, I just need to get a tight end here and do think with a 3 tight end build. Hunter Henry is my first tight end in a 3 tight end build, is one of my bailout approaches. Do want to be aware of that not becoming a bias point, because I do think it's coming a little cozy for me on underdog and on drafters. But Hunter Henry here leads off my tight end room. It's the team, same as I read last time, with Hunter Henry on top. There we go. Yeah, Splash Sports still around. There we go. Fish Ace. Yeah, Fish Ace is good too. I get it. Get ready to vomit in your mouth when you welcome Bo Nix and Russell Wilson to the squad. If I'm lucky, I'll get both those guys. But they are certainly in the cards. Just, it's tough to, I guess I could have taken Kirk with the Bijan correlation, but I don't know if that really does for me. We'll see what these guys do around the chart. I feel like I'm moving the screen too much. Lots to soak in with the drafter screen. Cousins goes to Corey R. Owens. I think he has Drake London. They got London and Pitts. There we go. Cousins goes to a logical stack partner. I could have taken Cousins away from that guy. I'm glad I didn't. He actually went out of his way to make an Atlanta stack. So he deserves Kirk Cousins. I didn't. That's how I'll view it. Also, I didn't realize that Charlie line of scrimmage's name here is line of scrimmage. Like, did somebody have the real name, Charlie? Did somebody have your actual version that you have an underdog? Survivor pools and tiers. Oh, on Splashport? I thought Splash has part. All right. I thought they had the pick'em shit. I must be completely wrong then. My bad. All right. What are we doing? Dying on the vine is what we're doing. Well, sorry. Sorry to the Puka drafter, the Cup drafter. I don't want to be in Bo Nix, Russell Wilson hell. And maybe Demarcus Robinson will fall back to me because these guys have all drafted a shitload of receivers. So we're going to go with old Matthew Stafford here. If nothing else, it'll prop up my QB points a little bit more than the old bailout Bo Nix, Drake May, Russ Wilson combos would. So Stafford is the pick. You know what I would like to get back, but I don't think the room's going to give it to me anyway. So we'll correlate him with a tight end if we don't. Oh, typed it quickly and didn't pay attention. That makes more sense. Makes more sense. Bad for the brand, though, Charlie. Bad for the brand. You're the Cup. Mr. Poopy Butthole's the Cup drafter. Okay. But you're on this side of the board anyway, so well, he wasn't coming back to you. But now we pray for Demarcus Robinson as wide receiver 8. What a treat. Yeah, I don't think I've had this many regulars on a draft room in a while, so I have to adapt better with that. I've gotten spoiled by my being in semi-normal rooms with one draft stalker. Here, I have to adjust the fact there's a lot of guys that do know the value of receivers, and going 2 RBs early really put me behind the 8 ball there, and also made it tougher to get stacks. Puka draft. Oh, good. They're both on that side of the board. All right. Love to hear it. Sorry to you both, though. But I was fucked at QB, so that's the logic. DeMarcus Robinson goes to fucking Dylan. God damn it. Unstacked Matthew Stafford. What if this is the year? Matthew Stafford, there's some reports out there. This might be his last year. Maybe he retires this year. What if this is the year he just decides to run a lot? Like, I don't think we think enough about that as an outcome. And we should, because that's entirely plausible, right? All of a sudden, we're going to see Matthew Stafford running left and right. So we take Antonio Gibson now to set up one more stack, I suppose. Oh, this team. Gamble Seed took the QB. All right, there we go. Glad I didn't hurt him. Yeah, Parkinson team is what I'm thinking. If not a Davis Allen team. Could take Tutu. There's a world where Tutu can unseat Demarcus Robinson this year. So that would not be the craziest thing. I mean, Demarcus Robinson, I do think, was a little bit of a godsend last year, coming out of nowhere for the Rams and actually showing some upside. Thought he fit in really well with the offense, but he's not Puka Nacua, or he's not Tutu Atwell in terms of being able to get downfield and all of that. That said, last year, I think this is always a thing that I hold in my priors is like, last year they had Puka and Tutu running the same routes. They had them playing that F role in the offense, especially when Cooper Kupp got hurt. And then Tutu did nothing, man. Tutu could not get it going. And then Puka obviously got it going and was great. So I think that does reflect a little bit poorly on Tutu. Maybe it doesn't reflect as poorly because Puka was great and Tutu wasn't great. So he didn't get the reps. But maybe a vague cut candidate would be Tutu. Maybe. Vanilla Vic, Matthew Stafford. I'd love to see it. Maybe he's so tired of his wife and her fucking podcast. He's like, I'm just going to put myself in danger. I'm going to run around a lot this year. We're making a bet. As long as we can tell the story of how Matthew Stafford pays off unstacked, we're fine. This room, though, all the late QB options going. Tutu's done nothing in 3 years. I feel like he had one spike week. I think he had one. Yeah, he hasn't. He's a guy who's fast. Guys who are fast and can't get open downfield and also aren't good at the lateral, the pre-snap motion stuff like the Chiefs use. Just usually going to be albatrosses, I feel like, for most teams. I think this is a decent time for a second tight end here. Could go up and get QB. I'm going to take Jonnu Smith to flesh out this at least 3 QB room, or at least 3 tight end room, and at least the 3 QB room as well. So the team so far, we have Jordan Love and Matthew Stafford. Things started well for this team, and then the QB rush, I think, really kind of took some of the value away from the room that I needed. Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Gus Edwards, Kendre Miller, Antonio Gibson, Diggs, Pickens, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Jameson Williams, Cortland Sutton, Dontavian Wicks. So again, we made up at receiver. We've gone away from it long enough now to shore up, quote unquote, theoretically, QB and tight end. But Wicks there was the last receiver. Tight end, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. The New England boys reunited once again in new settings. That's a good point. Tutu can't block, which is a big thing for McVay. Yeah, Puka is a willing blocker, if not a great one. Tua being a returner is probably what keeps him on the roster. Yeah, that's fair. There was some report that came out as well. Keelan Robinson, who I thought was in play to be, and I think he still could be in play, to be a guy that if Tank Bigsby fails, if Dearness Johnson is mid, and they want to get somebody reps, Keelan Robinson from Texas would be a guy. Right now, the reports are that he's going to be just a kick returner, and they didn't really draft him to be an actual running back, which is, again, one of these odd wrinkles. Same thing the Jets said with Tariq Cohen. But then they ended up using Tariq Cohen in practice as an RB. So that might mean different things for different teams, where some teams are drafting guys or signing guys and going, this guy's a returner, we're not going to even try to use him as anything else. And other teams are like, oh, we have him as a returner, we want to bring him in for that, but we need to try and have him do his other job too, just to see if he's got any value there. So probably going to be a very specific team-to-team thing, but I do think kind of interesting to note. Because that's just 2 different approaches. The Tariq Cohen one, they were just a returner, and then within 1 week, he's out there doing pass downs. I think then he got cut, I think. So they're just seeing what they had, I guess. Fucking Drake May goes. Drake May was an option. I'm just going to grab Bo Nix here. We need a 3rd QB. Was quietly doing a little New England stuff for Drake May, but A for Yama, who I think watches, or used to watch a lot of streams, and then I think isn't in chat, or doesn't participate in chat. So seeing him for the first time in a while here, he steals Drake May for me. Always good to see your old friends, and they take food out of your mouth. Heads up for rolls, Dave. Who are you heads upping? I'd love to see you guys heads up for rolls. I don't need to hear this, but Johnny Wilson this year's Puka can run outside, and at 6'6" might. Wow, that is a hot take, Black Money River. I liked Johnny Wilson a lot pre-draft. Some guys are just too big to do the position that they want to do that, is what I would say. And then he does have You have Paris Campbell there, does have Aeneas Smith blocking him from getting on the field. The thing with Puka, the thing that got Puka there is he was good enough, efficient enough in college, didn't get enough routes, but was like a high target earner, really efficient. And then there was opportunity because there was spots open. And then Cooper Kupp getting hurt increased the opportunity tenfold. That's the situation you want, is like really weak incumbents there, Van Jefferson types, Tutu Atwell types, and a guy who was great at earning targets and overperforming in college. That's the real recipe for it. Philadelphia does not have either of those things, really. But Johnny Wilson was very efficient. I think Johnny Wilson is better than Keon Coleman, but it's hard to be 6'6" and be an every down wide receiver. All right, so part of why I was thinking Carr might be an option for us is like we had a little bit of a New Orleans thing going with Kendre Miller. Do you think we need the third tight end? As always, I'm happy to get Juwan Johnson as a third tight end, so we'll take him as well. For the Denver situation, Lucas Kroll getting enough hype, but he wasn't that good last year. Greg Dulcich should be a good pass catcher, but he can't stay healthy. Don't really want to take the Denver tight end, so we'll go with our little bet on New Orleans and increase that. Really just a bet, I guess, that Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara don't score touchdowns in the red zone is a pro one for Kendre Miller and Juwan Johnson. Unless Jamal Williams does old Detroit stuff and steals every touchdown, and that would be it. Tim Patrick, Colby Parkinson, welcome to the squad. Not bad picks. I would honestly think I'd go Josh Reynolds over Tim Patrick. It's hard to be that old coming off multiple knees things, but he might block somebody's time. Little Jordan Humphrey, 20th round pick. Who knows? Likely needs an injury to get any looks this season. That's not necessarily true because they're going to run more 12 personnel for him, but it's more talking about receivers as it relates to Puka. But likely does his biggest value is his contingent value. But, we'll see how much 12 personnel they run. Todd Monken ran a lot at Georgia. Didn't run very much so far as a pro OC. So the hope would be that he runs a little bit more, plays more 12 personnel, not runs more in 12 personnel. And that's been the signal so far as well. They've said they want to use likely more on the field with Andrews. So, but yeah, it's just different things to me, but not a bad point. All right, so we got our 3 QBs here. We'll give the team a read one more time. We got Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, Bo Nix is our 3 QBs. Again, 20-round draft here, so much easier to take 3 QBs and not worry about your draft capital allotment. We got Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Gus Edwards, Kendre Miller, and Antonio Gibson as the RBs here. Bye week stuff, a little bit of confliction here, but doesn't really matter that much on drafters. Wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, as long as we can fill the roster out, really. Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Jamison Williams, Cortland Sutton, Dontavian Wicks are our wide receivers, and Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and Juwan Johnson. Still think I'll add one more receiver at the least. Maybe one more tight end. Probably not one more QB. Because if we added one more QB at this point, it would have to be Gardner Minshew, Sam Darnold, or Aiden O'Connell. So that would not be a good option to add. Even in a 20-round draft. Well, I'm not a good one. Let's take on the main event champ running solvers on the rail. I don't know. I'm not like a big poker guy to that extent. I played a little bit in college and then got out of it once the solver thing became really big. Let me make a pick here. We can talk about it. This is really awful. This is a position I don't wish on anybody. But I do think that one of the picks, I guess, should be Josh Reynolds. Yucky. Really don't know that Josh Reynolds is a better pick than Tim Patrick. I think they're a very similar play, but Reynolds is younger. Reynolds has never had success anywhere that Jared Goff hasn't been, for what it's worth. He got signed away from the Rams, then immediately came back with his tail between his legs to Jared Goff on Detroit. That's Josh Reynolds for you. Malik's got a lot of talent. He's the guy that kind of fits what we were talking about with Puka before, where he is like really blocked. He's got a lot of talent as a target earner, though. If there are reports he's running with the first team, I will go heavier to Malik. Right now, to draft Malik is like really speculative, I think. You got Odell there with a $10 million contract. You have Taj Washington, who's going to take some amount of these really downfield targets away. Malik Washington is like going to be close to the line of scrimmage guy. I agree, does play better for full point PPR. I mean, Diego, full point PPR. Malik Washington going to play better for full point PPR, but he's not a high ADOT guy or wasn't at Virginia. Like, I think that he and Taj Washington have just different roles, where Taj is going to get downfield. Malik will get some kind of close to the line of scrimmage stuff, and Odell probably takes that middle area stuff. Reynolds' legs haven't been rebuilt twice in the last 2 years as well. That does help over Tim Patrick, too. Barrios is theoretically still there. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be really getting snaps, though, if I had to guess. I don't know if he'll get cut, but he's got to be blocked at this point. They've really talked highly about Malik, but you pay Odell. Odell's got to be out there for some amount. All right. Speaking of, Odell is here. Can you search by team here? I think it's Parkinson is going to be the pick. You can't search by team here. It would either be Parkinson or Tutu. Yeah, we'll take a fourth tight end. Why not? Final team here. Let me switch it so you guys can see it. We got Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford here. So we stacked up Matthew Stafford. We did it. And Bo Nix as well. Had to make it up to QB. Losing Herbert really ended up hurting me more than I thought. So thank you to Charlie in retrospect for the super chat. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Gus Edwards, Kendra Miller, Antonio Gibson. There you go, Diego. Now you're getting it. I learned a lot from you, Diego. I appreciate it. Stephon Diggs, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Ladd McConkey, Jamison Williams, Cortland Sutton, Dontavian Wicks, and Josh Reynolds. So we hit receiver really hot and really hard after getting Bijan and Gibbs to start. Maybe still could have added one more receiver on, but I thought tight end and QB were weak enough that we just had to do a little bit more there. Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, Juwan Johnson, Colby Parkinson is the build. All late tight ends. Really could have made the case to even not take Hunter Henry and take that first tight end a little bit later with having 4. But I think the team works, so that's going to be the team here. Shout out to all you guys who drafted along with me. Hope you're happy with your output. And again, whenever you do want to draft, hit the join button down below, $4.99 a month. I will start pinging the channel on Discord every week for all the paying members if they want to join the Drafters Draft, because people do seem to enjoy that. So appreciate you guys giving me some breath on Underdog, but I'll allow you to get it on Drafters every Saturday. So hit the join button down below. $4.99 a month. You get my VIP Discord, the Squirt Squad Discord. It's part of Pete's Deposit Game Discord. You also get 10 team reviews a month from me, and that could be drafters teams, that could be underdog teams, that could be DraftKings teams. Doesn't matter to me. I'll still give you good feedback about your draft tendencies, structure things that you need to clean up and all that. And you also get my Spags rankings that do come out every Sunday. So 275 plus blurbs going to be coming out tomorrow from me. So check that out. Of course, with updated rankings that you can export to Underdog. So do that. But the big thing, thank you to Drafters. Go check them out. Drafters.com. That's DRAFTERS.com. If you go to Drafters, you use the promo code SPLASH to get yourself a $100 deposit match. The biggest difference is, as we learned earlier in the video, shout out to our guy Diego, full point PPR on Drafters. You also get 17 weeks there, no pods at all, no playoff pods. You're just really competing against yourself, your team's own total points. And that's a big benefit, I think. But it's the stress levels and the luck levels that go in with the pod things on Underdog. So check it out, drafters.com, promo code SPLASH on there. And one more call to subscribe, like, do all that stuff, because I'll be back on Monday with another draft. Drafts here every Monday to Saturday at 11 a.m. Saturday's the Drafters Day. Rest of the week, I'm doing Underdog. So come check that out, and I'll be back doing that. And hey, if you want to get some bets in this weekend, check out Probly as well, PROBLY.com. Thank you all the fine folks who joined the channel, along with the folks that I've not added who joined yesterday. But again, hit that join button down below, support the channel, all of that. And I'll be much nicer to you when you do. That's how it goes. Follow me at Chris Spags. Follow the show at Splash Play Pod. Back on Monday with another draft. Back tomorrow for the VIPs with the rankings update. So I'll see you guys then. Enjoy your days. And of course, good luck. Enjoy your weekends as well. Bye-bye. I didn't do the giveaway. Hold on. You guys are right. Giveaway. Now we're really rewarding the people who hang on. Giveaway time. All right. Let's do it. I fucked up, but you guys reminded me and I saw it in time. All right. Pull up the screen. Giveaway. All right. Hashtag. Here, you know what? Our guy Diego, we bullied him a little bit. He came out to win. Hashtag Diego in the chat if you want a free entry to win today. $15 entry to 500K Drafters Million. Hashtag Diego. I'll give it a minute here. Hopefully not enough people dropped off. If you fucking enter, you're probably going to win this one with hashtag Diego. Chicago Spartan. There we go. Please leave your hashtag Diegos now if you want a free entry. They weighed 4 last week. Today only 1. Okay, this is not the correct one. It's not just say your own name. There we go. It's hashtag Diego. I'll give it a minute here. What I'll do, I'll drink my water. I'll take a big swig of water here. There we go. DB Betts has got it. I hope fucking Diego probably left. I would like Diego to win the Diego giveaway. All right. I've sucked some water down. I'm chewing on an ice cube. Once I'm done chewing with this ice cube, this giveaway is going to begin. There we go. All right, I'm rooting for Diego. Go, Diego, go. Start collecting comments. Let's go. Okay. Thank you. Stay hydrated. Got to. It's hot out there. The giveaway is full point PPR. Yes. All right. Who gets it? Who gets it? 1 in 12 shot for you guys. Wounded Geese. Did Wounded Geese win one already? I don't think you have, right? Wounded Geese. If you have, tell me, because I don't think that's fair. Let me see. I don't think you have, though. Wounded Geese, what's your username? Leave it on the comments after the video. Yeah, no, you haven't won one. Okay, good. Wounded Geese a regular, though, so glad to see him here. There's your winner. I'm sorry, Diego. I really wanted you to win the Diego giveaway. I really thought that would have been nice for you. But come back next week. I'll give away another one. Thank you guys for reminding me. Fuck, I got to remember to do it. That's on me. But there we go. Ticket. I'll submit it on Monday. So stay tuned, Wounded Geese. And let me know your username, which I do think is Wounded Geese. But just let me know in the comments and the video after the fact. And again, I'll be back on Monday, guys. Appreciate you both. Wounded Diego. Diego, I want to give you a big hug, buddy. Thank you for giving me something to get through and start off the stream hot. I appreciate you for it. Back on Monday, guys. Now, for real, I'm leaving. I'm leaving fucking this time. And yes, sign up for Probably. Jason knows. And I'll be back on Monday, et cetera, et cetera. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye.